You want to fight him again?
Yeah, for sure. We gotta make that bag.
That bad.
My first contract is signed for immediate rematch, when there's a draw, or if in the case of a draw, or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him.
Been amateurs together, so I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would.
Finally, Gervonta Davis has spoken out about agreeing to a rematch with Lamont Roach. Additionally, Tank has acknowledged that he wasn't entirely focused throughout the battle and accepted part of the blame for his performance. He admitted that he might have handled things better and pledged to show his mettle in the next battle. This introspection shows that Davis is conscious of his flaws and is driven to fix them going ahead. With the fight now set, he has the chance to make amends and quiet his detractors. This rematch is one of the most anticipated fights in recent boxing history, as both combatants are getting ready to resolve the issue.
I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Cause I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up, and I could have definitely did more.
Boxing commentator Devin Haney, who has known Lamont Roach since infancy, offered his opinions on Roach's performance. Roach's contributions throughout the battle were commended by Haney. By stressing that he thought Roach had done enough to earn his support, he gives Roach's claims of victory more legitimacy and encourages further discussion over the fights. Conclusion.
And finally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes, and yeah.
Yeah, you were, you've made some comments. I wanted to see the backflip, and I'm surprised Tank didn't say nothing back to you about that.
Hey, I was just speaking my opinion on it.
There's been increasing conjecture over a potential rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, with sources indicating that the battle may occur in June of this year. Davis is under pressure to prove himself and silence those who think Roach deserved the victory because of the drama surrounding their first fight.
Rumors are swirling that Gervonta Davis could be back in the ring around June to rematch Lamont Roach. Hopefully there's some truth to that, because Tank needs to redeem himself immediately.
Given that both Davis and Roach have something to prove, and since their previous meeting ended in controversy, fans are expecting the rematch to take place. Divided about the result, a second fight would allow both fighters an opportunity to settle the argument once and for all.
I say this fight needs to happen again because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Would I like to see this fight happen? Yes, I would like to see a fight happen again, because I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis and not being knocked out. And I also want to commend Tank, because Tank didn't have to take this.
Sir Julian Gonzalez thinks Lamont Roach will prevail in a rematch. In order to assure a better performance, he said both boxers will arrive prepared and work on the errors they committed in the first battle. Given Gonzalez's faith in Roach, the challenger appears to have a genuine chance of winning.
Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling it off. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, smudge. Like I wasn't mad at the draw. You know, I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because Lamont surprised me a lot. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna say Lamont, man.
Lamont Roach's sparring partner was upset with the fight's result, saying that although Roach won, the conclusion was tainted by the influence. He said that rather than awarding the bout equitably, the judges could have been influenced by Davis's influence and prestige in the boxing community.
My man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day, but I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works, and not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else he made me believe in Kent for real, because me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean. So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me. You know what I'm saying, me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too. You know what I'm saying. But actually, when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him. You know what I mean, but. You can't, you can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision?
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but we running the back.
Roach's talents were recognized by Gervonta Davis's trainer, who also indicated that they had a well-thought-out plan for the fight. And if a rematch were to happen, they wouldn't make major alterations, but would just require modest modifications to guarantee a clearer victory for Davis.
Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Regarding the uproar surrounding Davis's kneeling during the fight, Cano Alvarez offered his opinion. According to him, a fighter may be disqualified under specific circumstances if they voluntarily take a knee. The argument over whether the referee handled the incident appropriately is further complicated by his remarks.
Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my view.
A lot of people have made fun of Gervonta Davis for taking a knee during the fight because he claimed his hair was too oily. Critics contend that a real champion would not have depended on such explanations, and that this was a weak explanation. The call for a rematch has only grown as a result of this.
Got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited, and Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
It is imperative that Davis and Roach rematch, according to renowned pundit Joe Rogan. He maintained that boxing fans should see the bout resolved fairly and definitively, and that Davis could not ignore the
Everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some shit in his eyes, but what are you doing putting shit in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. That no one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball, bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
you can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating it is dripping into his eyes. Like, what is that shit?
Yeah.
Bro, shave your head.
Weird, right? Yeah, exactly.
Shave your fucking head. Who cares?
Like, don't be pretty boy. You better go get this fight.
Get those fucking braids out of there. You don't.
Regarding the crucial moment when Davis took a knee in the 9th round, Joe Rogan also offered his thoughts. He said it should be regarded as an A knockdown if a boxer willingly drops to one knee. According to his study, the referee could have erred in judgment, which could have affected how the fight turned out.
Davis Lamont Roach
Yeah,
fight?
that was trash.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
great fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. Subtract 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee,
and then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which it was clearly a knockdown to everybody, you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
If
I
you walk
think
off in the
they
middle
will probably give it to
This is
Lamont.
a very interesting rule. They have a power slap that kind of talks about what you guys are.
Critics contend that Gervonta Davis choose bouts that are advantageous to him rather than the most difficult opponents. A practice that has long been accused of cherry-picking his opponents in an attempt to keep his perfect record. This impression is further fueled by the controversies surrounding the Roach bout.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he been respected Lamont because they fought in the amateurs. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, you know, and really thought he was gonna get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. You know, he stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is gonna be a knock.
According to a number of boxing experts and former pros, Roach would have a good chance of winning if a rematch were to take place. They contend that Roach revealed important flaws in Davis's strategy, which he might further exploit in a rematch.
Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is staying as a draw, which is bullshit because Gervonta Davis obviously took a knee and it should have been called as a knockdown, but it wasn't. But this just means that Lamont Roach is going to take Gervonta Davis in the rematch, unless Gervonta Davis ducks the rematch with Lamont Roach because he knows he's going to get his ass whooped once again.
If I get touched